and our weekly video segment to take you into the back shelves of your local video store, back where it says horror videos, and where kids are devouring some awful films that we call the video nasties.
Are you freebasing? Inquiring minds want to know.
I have to break free from this culture of mechanical reproductions and the thick incrustations dying on the surface.
Fuck the prime time, bitch!
Mom with the new flesh.
The pain, I can assure you, will be exquisite. As for our deaths, come with me and be immortal.
We have such sights to show you.
Gotta return some videotapes.
Hello, horror hounds, and welcome to the It Slays podcast. I'm your humble host, Rowan.
And I'm that one guy's decapitated head, Mike.
Hey, it's Jill.
And we are Coltonless this evening. Surprise, surprise.
A Mike
Or
pick,
I guess for you TikTokers, it's surprise, surprise. Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I do, and that's what I heard when he said it like the first time without trying to do it.
Yeah, really, though. I mean, Colton had an actual excuse for not being here. We know the real excuse. It's a Mike pick. Colton's hatred for Mike just holds no bounds.
His homophobia.
It's truly limitless.
It's why we
like
don't do video, because we
itself.
basically just have to hold them back. It's like they just want to fight each other over the screens. No, it's his last 2 weeks of filming on the show he's working on, and they're very, very busy. But he did promise he will be back for the Halloween episode, which he better, because I know one person that will be very upset if he's not. Mr. Hartnett will never forgive him.
Oh, I'll go on Instagram and DM Josh Hartnett and be like, so hey, we just missed each other one day, but I have news for you.
Yes. Colton's committing hate crimes against you, Mr. Hartnett, and it's a bad, bad thing. But that's all right. We have Jill back. You weren't here last episode, were you, Jill?
Unfortunately, nope.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't.
That was also due for your hatred, your blatant racism, I think we talked about during the episode.
Oh my god. I love Jordan Peele.
I know you do. I know. It was sad time without Jill. But you know what? Let's dig in, because I feel like this is going to be a pretty large, gooey episode. So, you know where we're going to start. What have we been consuming? What have we been watching? What have we been reading? All that good stuff. Jill, you missed out last week. Let us know what you've been up to.
All right. Book-wise, I am reading the new Bunny book, We Love You, Bunny, by Mona Awad. And I'm like halfway through it, and it's so good. And I've been waiting for this one for months. And yeah, I'm excited to read the rest of it. I have a lot of things to say about it, so I'll talk about it next time when I finish it. I'm sure that's like flying off the shelves probably at Chapters, Mike. I don't know. Have you read either one of them?
I read Bunny like 10 years ago, before people were into it, by the way.
Right, before it was cool.
Yeah.
Such a hipster.
No. You need to check it out. It's really interesting.
I can't help it. There's nothing people get on TikTok and read that I don't know about years before.
That's true.
Like,
You're the OG.
I am the OG.
As it were. Because Rowan hates me or something, the only movie we decided to do a Now Slaying on this week, besides VHS Halloween, is The Strangers Chapter 2, which I haven't gone to see yet, but I went through the misfortune of watching The Strangers Chapter 1 the other night after work, and I don't why why'd you get me to do this, Rowan? It's so mean. It was awful. It was really bad. It was 1-star bad.
But you are one, I believe we had the conversation, right? You've never seen the original one.
No, I haven't. And so
that's kind of interesting.
That's what I'm going to do.
Honestly, mid.
Don't listen to the mic.
Really?
Don't listen to the mic.
Mid. I saw it in theaters opening weekend, and I was very excited for it, and I was so fucking disappointed. I was like, well, and?
Yeah.
What year did that come out? 2008, maybe?
Like 8, yeah.
I feel like it came out that came out, and then Vacancy came out within that year, the next, because I kind of remember seeing them both at the same time. I always had the hot opinion. I thought Vacancy was kind of the better movie. I think
I love that one.
Yeah, I mean, that was early It Slays. That was Mike on the old gamer headset days. I feel like that was like the first like 10 episodes we did Vacancy, which is just a classic in my house. But yeah, Strangers, don't listen to Mike. Strangers is good.
Okay. And that, but
Listen,
not the Strangers
I love Liv
chapter
Tyler,
1.
but, sorry.
Oh, God. Okay. And it's spooky season now, so I did my yearly watch of Trick or Treat because it's like one of my favorites now. Since you guys introduced it to me on the show a couple years ago. And I feel like I have to watch it again later on this month, like maybe
Yeah, you can't blow your load at the beginning of the month and then have nothing else for the rest of October.
That's so good, though.
I'd like to get the 4K.
You need to get the 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I don't have either.
Get on it. Rowan and I did an episode of Now Slaying on Night of the Reaper. That should be out soon. I should have did that one last. I handed it over to you, but whatever.
We're a mess, so.
We're a mess. We're a mess. And the last thing I watched was Black Phone for Straight Jacket Talk. I think that episode just came out, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, you can go watch that over on YouTube. And yeah, Rowan, you watched Night of the Reaper too. What else have you been up to?
Yeah, so for me, well, I can't talk about Bloom because you missed that, Jill. Last episode, I had finally finished Bloom and declared it a mid-book.
No way, dude.
It's me and Exilia both read it at the same time, and we both thought it was pretty mid. It wasn't terrible.
I wish everybody could see Jill's face right now.
Dude, that hurts me, actually. I love that
I didn't hate
book.
it. I would, because they've got a new book out now, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, I would read
House of
something else. I didn't enjoy it, like, very descriptive, like, I thought the payoff was kind of weak at the end. I was just
What?
like, it felt rushed.
Get out of here.
It felt
No.
rushed.
It's a novella, first of all. The prose is lush. It's very decadent. You got horror, you got a lesbian relationship, and that ending is crazy. I can't believe you think it's boring or mid.
I mean, I also noticed that as this like lesbian couple, they didn't eat any frozen grapes, and Mike has always promised me that is what lesbians eat is frozen grapes.
Just toenails in this book.
Yeah, just maybe
And
frozen.
other
Frozen toenails or regular?
Just regular.
Okay.
So I did finish another book, kind of, I guess.
Oh my
It's a
God,
graphic
Rowan
novel.
reading.
Rowan reading. I'm trying to read a little more.
Gosh.
So I just finished reading Far Sector by N.K. Jemisin, I think is how you say their last name.
Nailed it.
I'm not even gonna start.
Yeah. It's a graphic novel. It was like a mini series from DC Comics. It's a Green Lantern mini series. I thought it was pretty mid, kind of like Bloom. Just mid.
Oh my God.
I have a general complaint. I'd read something that this person wrote, maybe like whatever they do next. If they do something next, this is one of those cases where they're a science fiction like novel writer and like an academic,
Like award winning.
yeah, academic activist and stuff. And I found this with Marvel too. Like when they had Ta-Nehisi Coates write Captain America. I found like he did Black Panther and Captain America, but like when he first came on, I was like, man, this is really bad because they're like novel writers and, you know, I don't think comic book writers get credit that it's an art of how you write for comic books. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of my issue. I was like, this isn't for a comic written that well. It is written well, but not for the comic book form. But I thought it was okay. It was pretty good. It might be something you're into, Jill. I know you like a good kind of like lesbian love story. So this is like a lesbian Black Green Lantern.
Okay.
That's, you know, doing Green Lantern things and, you know. Well, I shouldn't say lesbian. I think bi, because she does some guys, too. I think she's doing everybody on these strange planets, Captain Kirk style.
Just everything.
There is a famous song called I Do Both Jay and Jane.
And then movies, I did watch some stuff. Where do I start? So I did a couple Tubi watches. You know, I'm always like to dig down, and no erotic thrillers this time.
Oh.
Just bad 2010s action movies. So I watched Snitch, which was a movie with The Rock. I didn't know anyone that was in this movie. Like, I just saw Rock on the cover. I was like, oh, it was late. Also starring Susan Sarandon and like Benjamin Bratt, Michael Kenneth Williams. Like, the cast actually ended up David Harbour, John Bernthal. I was like, how do I like this cast? Is crazy.
That's a very hot cast.
Yeah, it was fine. It's basically a movie. It's like based on a true story about a guy whose son gets arrested with a whole bunch of ecstasy and is looking at like federal time, like a long, like 30 years. And basically they have a program that if you're willing to like snitch another bigger dealer out, you can lose time. But this kid's like 17 and he doesn't know anybody. So the dad offered, The Rock, who's the dad, like offers to track down a bigger drug dealer, and it's the mafia, and it was fine. It was kind of like a Republican's wet dream movie, you know. It's like dad coming in and, you know, just, yeah, it was fine though. Like for a watch, you know, I didn't feel like, you know, it was a total waste of time. Then I checked one called Chaos out, and I had to check this one out because not only did it star my guy Jason Statham, it also co-starred Ryan Phillippe and Wesley Snipes, and this is like a heist movie. Obviously, you know, this is from like 2005, so we're like in heyday of like Wesley Snipes will do any movie because he's trying to avoid jail time for IRS evasion.
Yeah.
This wasn't good. It wasn't like terrible, but yeah, 2005. So Statham, you know, this is like kind of beginning, I feel, of like the Statham direct-to-video action movie. Ryan Phillippe is like totally miscast in this. He's not very good. Wesley Snipes is like the highlight, as he is in most things. Like, he's the villain in this, and he's like super hammy, wearing some wild, like, New Jack Swain, like, outfits, and just saying crazy one-liners. Like, it was a great time, but the whole movie had this, like, weird blue filter over it. Like, it just looks ugly. It wasn't very good. More of what you'd probably actually think about when you think about movies from Tubi. Like Jill said, we did Night of the Reaper. That's a double feature episode. So also me and Mike talked about Witchboard. That is also on there as well. Another Statham movie I watched was 2008's The Bank Job. Statham with some hair. He still had a little bit of hair going. And this was pretty good. This is like a fully British movie. This isn't like an American action movie. Also based on a true story about basically like lewd photos of like a royal family member, of them having a threesome, and like bank robbers coming across it, and like, you know, like M16 like trying to get them back but being shady. And there's like this like Malcolm X Black Power figure that's also like it's like wild. It's like a heist movie there's so much nudity in this movie. Like, I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, this is just like a random action movie, but like there's a lot of nudity in it. Like, it's just titties everywhere. And bush. There's full out bush everywhere in this also. I thought it was pretty good. Like, you know, it's not gonna like knock your socks off, but I always like a good like British romp, a good British heist movie. And as I continue to say, like, to me, I like Statham. He's just charming. He can kind of hold these movies together, and yeah, I thought it was a pretty good time. I was away in Toronto for the week, so I didn't do like that much watching, but you know, I was texting these guys because as any person our age, like, I don't have cable, so I'm in the hotel. They have cable, they have AMC's doing Fear Fest, so I'm like coming in and out of the hotel, like there's movies going on. So the two I actually got to watch were Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which fantastic. We've done an episode on it. I love it. Like, I don't even like to say it's underrated because I think it's like people know now that it's like a good movie. But of course, these are all great because it's the TV cuts, right? And a lot of these TV cuts I've never seen because I don't have cable. I just watch the 4K or the Blu-ray or whatever. So it's kind of cool. I did catch like the half of Halloween 2. So I get to see like some of the TV cuts on that, which I really enjoyed. And then I watched all of The Return of the Living Dead, which TV cut, not so good. Yeah, especially if you're looking for some Linnea Quigley. She's basically just like Axe.
Gone.
Like, yeah, she's in it for like 10 seconds and... You know, all her scenes are pretty much cut because you just can't show it. But still a good time. I mean, it's such a good movie. And now that I know more and more of, you know, everyone talking about how the Moore guy is like actually a Nazi. So this watch, I'm like, I was just paying attention because like he's got the picture of what's her name, like Adolf Hitler's woman in the background. The pistol he uses is like the same pistol that Adolf Hitler used. He's listening to like German World War II music in his headphone. Yeah, just kind of an interesting thing. Like Jill said, I went and saw Strangers Chapter 2. I'm sure we'll be talking about that, and I'm sure you guys will know our opinions on it. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. And the only other thing I've been watching, I rewatched Aladdin. Yeah. It's been a little while. And I have to admit something. I talked a lot of shit on this podcast, you know, and I talk about my family and you know, my mom really being anti-Disney and all that kind of stuff. And I've always been upfront. I've said Aladdin, Lion King I remember seeing. But for an anti-Disney household that I came from, my mother let me know that Aladdin was actually the first movie I ever saw in theaters, that she took me to that, and also thought it was important that I share with the entire world that I refused to sit down the entire time we were in the theater, and B, I spent most of the time just in the aisleway dancing to the entire movie.
It is a banger soundtrack.
Aladdin's a banger. Like, I gave it a 5-star on Letterboxd. I love Aladdin. That's my thing. I haven't finished it yet. Colton and Exilia bragging up Return of Jafar, trying to tell me it's like better, if not just as good. I've watched like half of it so far, and I'm like, this is absolutely dog shit so far. I was like looking into it. I'm like, the animation looks terrible. And then I found out it's like basically was supposed to be a TV show and they couldn't get it off the ground. So they just like pressed it together to make a movie. But maybe next episode I'll have finished Return of the Jafar. And yeah,
let us know.
A lot of Gilbert Gottfried in that one. A lot of Gilbert Gottfried.
A lot.
Yeah, and really that's it. I failed at my X-Files rewatching this. Like I said, I was away for a week. So, like the rest of the world, I watched an episode of the Ed Gein thing, the monsters.
Oh my God, that's out already?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. As a serial killer kid and teenager that like all I did was watch documentaries, I'm a little, you know, like he's taking some liberties in this.
Girl, it looks awful.
And I also had heard about...
As someone who loves the cast, like I love Charlie Hunnam, I love Laurie Metcalf.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah. Well, and now that I know that like they're doing like some sort of interweaving where this is not really Ed Gein, it's going to turn into like a Perkins Hitchcock thing, and I don't know if I love the connotations that I've heard they're trying to weave in here. Like there's definitely like Ryan Murphy, like if you've seen the first episode, like there's like, you know, like some cross-dressing things, and like I'm just interested in how they're gonna weave that in the Perkins, and I'm just wary. I'm wary of it, so we'll see if I finish it. I don't know. I'm not a big Ryan Murphy guy anyway, so, and it's TV, so we know And guys, I'm a bro. It's basketball season is about to be upon us, so I'm about to be trash talking Willow for the next 9 months about basketball. So I'll be busy. But yeah, that's not for me. Mike, what about you?
It's funny just because you're talking about Ryan Murphy, and like when I was young, I loved Ryan Murphy shows. Like Popular was probably the most formative TV show other than like Golden Girls, like of my childhood. And like the first couple seasons of American Horror Story were so good, and like Nip Tuck. But like, yeah, he's the last like 8 or 9 years was really like his whole career has jumped the shark, and I'm just like, please, just let me remember the good old days of 25 years ago. But anyway, I have not watched that, and we'll see. Maybe I'll try an episode of it. I'll find it somewhere online, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, like Rose said, and the episode's not out yet, right? Witchboard? We did do an episode on Witchboard.
No, so we're recording this on a Sunday, and that's actually out tomorrow morning.
Okay. I didn't think so. I was like, I don't remember it popping up on my feed, but anyway. Yeah, so I guess by the time this comes out, you can go listen to it if you so choose and hear our thoughts. Mid was definitely the word of choice for that one. So what have I been consuming and reading and listening to and watching other than that? I started, and I'm having a little bit of a like reading rot right now, and every time I pick up a book, I kind of like my just ADHD brain is kind of like broken right now. So I started the new Gretchen Felker Martin book about the cursed exploitation film,
Nice.
Black Flame. So I'm hopefully gonna actually like get a burst of energy to read this week and like kind of plow through it. Other than that, I've been watching probably more movies than anything. Since our Witchboard and Nope episodes, I watched a couple of like old movies actually. I did a first time watch of I want to say it's a combination classic melodrama folded in with a noir movie from 1945. And it's called Leave Her to Heaven, and it stars Jean Tierney, who is a god. I call her God Tierney. Jean's is Tierney. Like, she is everything. It's essentially about this woman who meets this writer, and she's definitely like a mentally ill girly. And they get married, and she essentially gets like insanely jealous of like everybody in his life that he devotes any time or attention to other than her. And I'm not gonna lie, I've like known a lot of people that remind me of her. So I was watching this movie going like, oh, this is 1945 really predicted mental illness.
For real.
Yeah, and so, you know, she's like, you know, got all these like schemes that happen and like people die. So yeah, it's got like the noir element, you know, with like death and murder, but it's also very like melodrama, Technicolor melodrama. It's actually kind of devastating. Like, I watched it and was like, oh, you know what it was? I watched this when I had COVID last week.
Oh, you poor thing.
So it was the first day that I was really sick, and I had to call out from work, and I was like I was in so much pain and on so much medication. I was like, I'm just gonna lie on the couch and watch movies all night, and I just managed to get this in, and then I like just passed out for like 14 hours. So this movie has a like kind of fever dream feel to it, and I don't know if that's part of the movie or if it was just the fact that I literally had a fever.
You have to rewatch it and find out.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna do a like daytime, you know, with a cup of water, rewatch it during the winter probably. So I watched another classic from the 60s that I saw like when I was in university, because I read a book once where somebody mentioned it, and they were like talking about Elizabeth Taylor and like just mentioned this movie offhand, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds really cool. So of course I downloaded it online. And it's from 1968. It was the same year as Rosemary's Baby, and it stars Elizabeth Taylor and a little baby Mia Farrow, and I think it was right before she did Rosemary's Baby. And it's this insane art house like thriller, I guess. Psychodrama is probably more accurate. And Elizabeth Taylor is like a prostitute whose daughter is dead, and she lives alone in like think it's like a hotel room or maybe a very tiny like apartment. And one day she goes to visit her daughter's grave, and on the bus on the way home, Mia Farrow like comes up to her and starts calling her mommy, and no, it's not like muscle mommy. And so it turns out that Elizabeth Taylor very strongly resembles her dead mother, and kind of like goes to her house and like starts play acting as her mother. And it's this like insane, beautiful, and it's in Britain, by the way, like London, I believe. And it's this insane, beautiful, crazy like mansion that's like Art Deco. And it is a stunning, beautiful movie. And it's just about these like two like fucked up people in a fucked up relationship, and like the people from the outside that are kind of trying to come in and like take advantage of Mia Farrow because she's like 22 and, you know, has this like huge estate and, you know, all of her mother's money. And it's just insane, and there's no way to like describe it. You just have to watch it. It's a movie that you have to experience. It's very fucked up, and I totally recommend it. Elizabeth Taylor is like a fucking god, and people like forget that these days. So if you can find it somewhere, it's on Blu-ray, like track it down and watch it for sure. I did a rewatch of one of my absolute favorites of all time. That was my middle COVID movie, and this was my last COVID movie. So I found a 35 millimeter scan of King John Carpenter's Escape from New York.
Oh. Nice.
You know, it was beautiful. Oh my God, it's like the just warm colors, like scratchy all over the print. Like, oh my God, it was amazing. It was exactly the thing I needed on my like last day of feeling sick. Escape from New York. I mean, me and Ro had a legendary night back in the day when he lived here, watching it and drinking tequila and eating too much pizza.
Such a
and it was just one
boys'
of those
movie.
nights. Oh, it really was. Yeah. And, you know, friend of the pod, Brad Dunn, was over, and it was definitely a boys' night. I was
Cute.
sweating and farting garlic for like 2 days afterwards because we got this pizza.
Greco?
We got this massive pizza from Greco, and anybody
Yes.
who knows Greco pizza knows that they have like flavored crusts. And we got the garlic flavored crust, and it was just covered. And I just like, I ate so much of it, and I like made myself so sick, and like drinking tequila on top of it. It was like a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so with Escape from New York is kind of a classic for me. I think it's one of John Carpenter's best, and it was during what I call the period of the hottest man on earth working with the greatest director on earth, like Kurt Russell. Hello.
Yeah,
The Thing, Escape from New York. Like, literally, there's no one hotter in any movie than him in those two movies, like, period. Adrienne Barbeau, also, like, you know, the hottest person ever. So yeah, that's actually online. You know, you might be able to, if you do a bit of Googling, you might be able to find that print. I found it pretty easily, if that's your thing. I also watched a Derek Jarman movie that I haven't seen before that I've been wanting to watch for years, and it was the biography of the painter Caravaggio. It was from 1986. It was Tilda Swinton's first feature, so it had little baby Tilda Swinton.
Oh, nice.
And little baby, like, he couldn't have been older than 23, Sean Bean.
Oh my God.
And so Sean Bean is kind of like the guy who like Caravaggio kind of like becomes infatuated with and is like inspiring him, and Tilda Swinton's like his girlfriend. But then it turns into this like kind of bisexual love triangle where they're like all into each other. And of course Tilda Swinton is hot because she's always hot, but like Sean Bean in this is like hotter than the sun.
I need to see this.
I was like, I totally get it. This Derek Jarman knew how to cast the fucking hottest people in the universe. That's all I'm saying.
I'm looking this up.
It was a really great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's very arty though. It's very like dreamlike, and it doesn't really have much of a structure. It's not like, I'm looking for a biography of Caravaggio, so I'm going to watch this. Like, no, you're going to get an idea of his life, and that's it. I rewatched an old classic, actually. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Alice, Sweet Alice from 1976. Alfred Sol's movie. It had a very young, like maybe 10-year-old Brooke Shields in it.
Oh, damn.
And she gets killed at the beginning. It's such a good movie. I'm actually thinking about maybe bringing it in as a pick at some point in the future.
Add it to the list.
It's this movie. It's got echoes of like a lot of other films, like Don't Look Now, and Brooke Shields is like kind of the golden daughter of her family, and her older sister, who's like 11 or 12, is a little bit of a like savage. She's a bit of a psycho, and when they're going to their confirmation, she has like a rain slicker from like their private school and puts on this weird half see-through mask and like strangles Brooke Shields and stashes her in a pew at the church and then catches her on fire. And so the whole movie then, like, she keeps killing these people, and it's very like critical of the Catholic Church, which I love. And she just like kills all these assholes, like this weird creepy pedophile guy in their building and stuff. It's really good. It's kind of like a bit of a giallo. A lot of people say it's like an American giallo. It definitely is. I don't know. It's a bit of a slow burn, but I think it's worth checking out. They just put out a 4K of it on Arrow, so maybe I'll do it one of these days. We'll see. Mm-hmm. And I did a Tubi watch of. Oh no, it wasn't Tubi. Sorry, I had to pirate it.
Same thing.
There was this anybody who likes Tubi movies, though.
It was free.
Tracked down online this movie called Crowned and Dangerous. It was kind of like a TV movie version of the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous, if you've ever seen that. And it starred Yasmine Bleeth, who was in Baywatch, as like this missus who's in a beauty pageant circuit, and she always comes second place to this other bitch. And so she like starts to like kind of, have all these accidents happen to her. And so Yasmine Bleeth like, has to step up and like take over her duties. So it's really funny and campy. So, it has that like Drop Dead Gorgeous black comedy feel. Mm-hmm. So if you're into that, definitely check it out. And today, actually, I watched something new. Would you believe?
Wow.
I know. Like, I decided I couldn't figure out what I wanted to watch this afternoon. I was just like, I'm going to chill. Like, I've got a couple hours to spare. And so I went on Shudder, now that our Shudder is not
thank Jesus.
In the dog pound. Now that Ro took us out of the red. I was kind of like scrolling through everything and trying to figure out like what mood I was in, and I was just like, I don't want to watch like an old 70s movie, and I don't want to watch a vampire movie. And I never watch Shudder originals. I don't know why, but like only once in a blue moon do I think like, that sounds like a really good movie. And so I was scrolling through them, and there's this one that every time I open Shudder, I said, that looks good, I should watch it. I never do. And it actually came out this year, and it's called The Surrender. I don't know if either of you have seen it.
I haven't seen it,
or
but
maybe seen
it's
it on
my list to watch.
Yeah,
I try to watch all of them.
It's about like mother and her adult daughter who the father of their family dies, and the mom is like, hey, surprise, so I've been gathering up these ritualistic items, and there's a man coming to the house, and we're going to bring him back from the dead. And so that's like the basic premise of the movie. And the daughter obviously like does not want any part of this, but like she does it because, she feels like obligated and doesn't want her mother to like do this on her own. And so it kind of turns into a little bit of a like supernatural movie then. I thought I liked the concept of it, even if it was a bit reminiscent of some other movies that have come out in the last year or two. And it is another one of those like movies that's like, grief. But it wasn't. I watched it knowing that I was going to like get depressed and hate it. But that was kind of like what I wanted. But it wasn't really as like dark and anguishy as I thought it was going to be. So I was like, okay, this is fine. I just found it was a little bit anticlimactic and lacking in the last half hour or so. But honestly, I don't regret watching it. So yeah. I mean, if you're into that like kind of grief movie
Colton
thing, like go for it. Yeah. Colton. I mean, it doesn't have the A24 style though. It's very I will say that the budgetary limitations were pretty apparent.
Damn.
I didn't really like the visual style of it very much. It just looked cheap.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That happens with like
But I find that with most like shot on digital stuff now, I just don't, it's like it all looks the same to me. It looks like a TV show,
Yeah.
But that's it. It's just not my style. Like I prefer, my like shot on film movies from 40 years ago. So who am I to judge? Anyway,
speaking
listen. Yeah. So, drum roll for this week's movie. Actually, is it 40 years old? 1992. What's that? 30?
I was born in 91
33?
and I'm 34.
35?
So 33?
Okay, yeah.
I don't fucking know.
I can't do math.
Me neither.
So, with that, why don't we get into the meat of our episode? So, Mike, this was your choice this week. Why don't you let the people know what we're watching and why you chose it?
Okay, so we are watching Braindead / AKA Dead Alive from 1992. As I mentioned last episode, Peter Jackson, the king. Yeah, I honestly chose it because I think it's a really fucking fun movie. I feel like it's one of those movies that if you don't like it, you're probably dead inside. And I just thought I'd give everybody a break and like pick something that was like fun and over the top and just like, you know, not a slog to get through. So yeah,
appreciate
I think
that.
This is the perfect example of that. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So with that, why don't we get to the trailer and then we'll be back with the synopsis and first experiences.
From the director of The Lord of the Rings, before he encountered Sauron, before he dealt with One Ring, he had to contend with this. The movie that was the inspiration behind Peter Jackson's impending timeless classic.
Party's over.
The screen premiere of Dead Alive. It's not part of the Lord of the Rings series. It's better.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Dead Alive. Next on Scream.
1992's Braindead is directed by Peter Jackson and written by Peter Jackson and Steven Sinclair, and the synopsis is as follows. When a Sumatran rat monkey bites Lionel Cosgrove's mother, she's transformed into a zombie and begins killing and transforming the entire town while Lionel races to keep things under control. So, our first experiences, is this our first time seeing this, or are we so hardcore about Peter Jackson and our love for,
we know you're not,
these other random movies that he's made that are far more unsuccessful than this? What's our experience with Peter Jackson and Braindead? Let's start with you, Mike. It was your pick.
Oh my God, listen. Again, I'm old, so when I was a kid, I vividly remember these two kids on my street that I used to hang out with all the time, and like we'd always go over to their house and like watch movies and stuff because their mom was a real like social butterfly and she was divorced and she was always out. She was always out on dates, always out going, you know, to restaurants and going out with the girls and the guys and going out to clubs and going out dancing. So we pretty much were like always renting movies and watching them over to their house. And I remember them going, "Oh my God, there's this like the most gory movie ever made and it's called Dead Alive." And so the babysitter rented it for us and we watched it. And she was traumatized and I actually don't think she ever babysat them again.
That was it.
Yep, that was it. That was she turned into one of the mentally ill girlies after that. Speaking of mentally ill girlies, have you seen it, Jill?
Thank you. Yeah, I saw this for the first time a couple of years ago. And so this is my second watch, and I was introduced to it by my friend Steve. And I just remember watching it then and being mind blown about like what I was watching. And I honestly couldn't believe it was Peter Jackson who made this. It's just totally unexpected. The insane amount of blood, the splatter and gore, and just like the camp of it all. I just thought it was amazing. And it was an unforgettable watch for me. And ever since I watched it, I keep thinking about it all the time. So I was really excited that Mike picked this for us to review. Thank you. What
You're
about
welcome.
you, Rowan?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I saw this a long time ago. This is like one of those like iconic posters I remember being a kid, like in the like maybe not the like Blockbusters, but like the grungy video stores. There used to be one I went into that like was beside like a porn shop, and it was like I saw so many like grungy horror movies from the like that's where you got your horror movies. It was like, you know, a guy that looked like he should be part of like White Zombie or something, just big old beard. And like he would give you all the recommendations. Dad used to take me in there, and you know, this guy and Dad would be like, "Oh, you gotta rent this one. Like, have you seen this one? This is nuts." And it's like, so I remember the poster, I remember the cover to it, and so I definitely saw this when I was pretty young, and I'm sure I saw it in the last 15 years, but I don't think I've seen it since then. Like, this is one of those movies, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, right? Like, that kind of sticks with you, I think, like scenes and stuff, but it's always one that like I could never really tell you, like I could never tell you what it was about. Like I just kind of remember the iconic scenes, and I just hadn't seen it enough to really recognize it like that. So yeah, I've seen it maybe once or twice, so was happy to get to check this out again. So with that, you know what? I think why don't I bring out us some fresh bowls of custard, and we dig in and talk about Brain Dead or Dead Alive, I guess, as they say. I was gonna say I read that the name switch was because Dead Alive, there was like rights issues in the U.S., so they couldn't call it Dead Alive. Not really sure like what the rights issues were, but
wasn't
that's
it?
why.
Yeah, the VHS that we rented in Canada was called Dead Alive.
I think it's Brain Dead. That's another movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so they had to
Yeah,
change
Brain
it
Dead
to
was
Dead
another
Alive.
movie in like 1987.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and there's other movies. There's other movies that have been called Dead Alive. Yeah. I'm sure it was just something stupid. I feel like maybe right off the bat we can have like, is this? I was thinking while watching this, is this like the practical effects movie? Is this like the one that like really you should be like, this is it?
I think so.
Yeah, it needs to be hung in the Louvre.
Yeah. Like, I think the two movies that we've talked about that I've been like, this is the example, are The Thing and Evil Dead. Yeah, like, this is, like, I feel like the Mount Rushmore
The
of, like,
trifecta.
horror.
Yeah.
It's getting added up there. Like, this is such a prime example of how even, like, the effects of, like, the claymation stuff with the rat monkey, like...
I fucking love that moment.
It looks so good, and it's, like, such a good callback to, like, 50s, like, drive-in type stuff.
It's very, like, Tom and Jerry sort of, like, feel to it. Like,
it
Roadrunner almost, yeah.
It looks so fantastic. And, I mean, this movie's so awesome because it's just, like, right off the rip. It's just like, you know what you're getting into because it's just fucking nuts from the beginning.
Yeah,
you don't even get 60 seconds of normalcy. Like, also, I just need to say, more stop motion in horror, please. Like,
it works.
It's
every
so
time.
underrated.
It looks so good. Like, it just gives it a texture that I love. I think about, the scene that you, me, and Exilia loved when we did After Midnight with the skeletons. And, like, it just, it gives it this feel that not everything has to look, like, hyper realistic.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a lot of fun.
It's got, like, a texture.
Yeah. Well, and it's good for these, like, fun movies. Like, I think about, although, when we did Evil Dead, the first one, I always talk about how, I talked about when we did Evil Dead that how I had always viewed it as, like, funny. Like, I always called it a mashed potato movie, but then as I watch as I'm older, I'm like, the first one's, like, fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying.
It's the second one.
Yeah, it's the second one, but it's just, like, that like, stop motion, claymation effect, like, to me, it just, like, it gives so much fun to these, and I'm just like, man, I feel like this is just what we're kind of missing.
Definitely. Like, the mother at the end of the movie, I think that just adds a whole other layer to, all the versions of her in the movie, but that one is just, like, the most, like, I don't know, I was in awe just, like, watching it. But also, like, the body parts when it's kind of like Tetris, like, different body parts, and it's, like, all a mix, like a mismatch of it all. And I thought it was funny, but also it's really terrifying. And the stop motion, too, when there's, like, this kind of, like, stutter to everything, I think that adds something special to it as well.
Yeah, that jerky kind of, like, movement is to me, always really terrifying.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about it, like, otherworldly and unreal about it.
Definitely.
Yeah, and, you know, this movie, I'm sure there's many adjectives and things that you can describe this movie. You know, this movie's very goopy, very wet, very slimy. And to me, it's like there's just something, this is something about that practicalness of it that makes it like very visceral and tangible. More so, like, I think about movies that we've done that like might still be a good time, but it's like, oh, like this blood we can tell is like CGI'd in or like stuff like that.
Bro, we were just talking about this last week with Witchboard.
Yes, 100%.
Right. I was just thinking that because there is that scene in Witchboard. I don't know if you saw it yet, Jill. Where it's like, you know, there's like a drugged out massacre in the restaurant.
Okay.
And it's kind of vaguely similar to, you know, the scene at the party in this. And when I tell you that the texture and the visual and the effect of it is worlds apart.
Yeah, because
like,
all the blood was CGI. Like, you can tell it was added in post. And it just, like, it didn't look great. And it's just like, you know, there's something... This is one of those movies, not only does it go on the Mount Rushmore of practical effects, it goes on my personal Mount Rushmore of movies I watch that I have a hard time eating. And not just because of the custard scene, but just like in general, because of like that like visceral effect that these practical effects have and how everything is just like dirty and slimy, and I feel gross when I'm watching this and eating.
It's like a fucking like walking infection, everything in that movie. Like literally.
Literally, yeah.
Literally. I'm such a germaphobe, so like it's I totally get it. I can't even eat popcorn or anything when I'm watching this movie because I'm just like, I've seen this about 100 times in my life and I'm still just like retching from the like
different fluids,
you know, germy and infectiousness of it all. Yeah,
you got pus, you got blood, you got urine.
You do have urine with blood. Yeah.
Blood in the custard.
Let's just talk about now. Let's talk about the custard scene right now, because like that's the one that everyone.
The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room, and yeah, the custard scene is so gross. It's so fantastic. Like squirting that pus and the custard, the guy just honking it down. I mean, everything about like the mother, just her body just degrading in front of your eyes. It looks fantastic. Like, it's so fun.
I honestly feel like one of the things that every time I watch this movie that I appreciate about it is that I feel like any other filmmaker would have filmed it so that neither one of the guests noticed. They would have, like, there's just something about Peter Jackson, you know, and it would have been like, oh, just Lionel is seeing this happen. And that's like the Hitchcockian tension of, oh my God, are they going to notice, you know, when he's just like sweating. But like having the lady watch it all too, but just be so horrified. But she's such a like, you know, society lady who is like so about like appearances and, you know, keeping it together that she won't even say anything because it would be uncouth.
Yeah.
She just lets her husband eat pus and watches this woman eat her own ear. And she's just like literally sitting there retching, but will not say anything. And I just think that's so perfect. It's such like comedic genius. And I feel like only Peter Jackson would structure the scene in that way. It's just so ballsy of him.
It's just wild to me too, because you think about like this Bad Taste, Meet the Peebles, and it's just like, man, I kind of wish he would like come back and do like some more horror. Like, he had such an affinity to this, like especially with these like outrageous kind of horror comedies. And like, you know, like we said, like this is before Lord of the Rings. This is before he's really
your favorite.
Yeah, my favorite. Somebody, but like, so you can tell like this is a genre he has like so much love for. Like, he obviously continued to revisit it, and he's just so good. I mean, like, he wrote these, like his comedy. It's, I thought, very, very funny, because I thought there was like an interesting mixture of, because like New Zealand, Australian, like they have a very interesting comedy style, like they always have. It's like very different than a North American style. I almost feel like it's almost like a blend of British humor with American, because like even though there's like a real, almost like surrealness to their comedy, like there's also almost a dryness to it also.
Yeah.
That I think is really funny. Yeah, I just, I thought it was interesting because I was thinking while watching this, I was thinking about like, I wonder if something like this would work now. Like, would people find this funny in 2025 if this came out in the theater now? Like, I think this movie is hilarious. Like, I have a really good time with it, but it's like, well, we've also seen it and, I've grown up with it and all this kind of stuff. I kept thinking, I'm like, I just wonder if it would be as successful now. Maybe so. I was kind of thinking with like the rise of like Tim Robinson and this like surreal comedy, just like very Tim and Eric, like meta comedy, that I was like, I feel like this would be right at home nowadays.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a very timeless and kind of fresh movie. Like for coming out in 1992, the effects still work. They look fantastic. I think the comedy still works. Like you said, it's that kind of mixture of like dry British humor and like this outrageousness. But like I think you said earlier it was kind of having like a Roadrunner sort of moment. But I made a note about when Lionel's like running in place in the blood. It's so Looney Tunes. Like he's doing the Looney Tunes run in the blood with the zombies like catching up to him and stuff. It's just
like you feel like his legs should be going in a circle like a helicopter or something.
Yes, it's outrageous. It's like over the top, but the timing.
It's slapstick.
It's slapstick.
It's like slapstick comedy.
And physical comedy as well. Because like when Uncle Les keeps getting hit in the balls, like I died every time it happened. And I was like, okay, they're probably done doing this now. And they would do it again. Just dead.
He was such a good
This
character,
person doesn't
too.
have a big enough leg to kick him in the balls while they're holding a leg.
Perfect.
Joke's on you.
Yeah, he was such a good character just because he was like such a dirtbag, but like just that actor was great at playing him like so sleazy, like sleazy car salesman.
Oh my God. I could like every time I see him come on the screen, I can like smell this person. I know exactly what he smells like. If that makes sense.
No. You love to hate him.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. Also, it reminds me that I forgot to add this to my letterbox list of bad wigs in movies. But he's one of the few men that gets added to the list of bad wigs in movies.
Well, in the movies, I mean, the good thing is the movie's in on the joke too.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not like most of the movies on this list are unintentionally bad wig, but this was obviously very clearly an intentionally bad wig.
I was trying to think, is this one of the goriest movies I've ever seen? It's just, like I said, the practicalness of it and the viscera. I really also thought about like the Terrifier movies, because I think in modern times those would be like, they'd probably say they're competing for it. But I was like, it's just like we said, it's something about like maybe this time period, the methods of the practicalness. Because I do always salute the Terrifier series is always really prided itself, and I mean it's made by a practical effects artist and they do practical effects. But I'm just like, something about this hits so different, and I really think it's that nowadays people tend to go for like, we want the gore to be like realistic. We want you to like, almost like it needs to be like scary realistic,
like malicious too,
malicious and stuff. Where this is like, they don't really care like if the blood is like the exact color it should be, and like
it's like fantasy gore.
Yeah, I think that's a great, but it's definitely probably the slimiest, I think.
Oh, yeah.
the slime.
The pussiest.
Yeah.
Pussy.
That's a good point, though, Rowan. I had made a note, too, that I really think the Terrifier films have been influenced by this one for sure. Not just the gore of it all, but like the comedy, too. And just going back to like the other ones, like Evil Dead. It's so, I don't know. I love that genre. I love when you can have fun and it can be disgusting at the same time. Like that's the best.
Oh, yeah. 100%. You know, I'm just looking through my notes here. Absolutely love the Father Magruder scene, like the fight scene.
I rewinded that so many times.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Yes.
Like, when we were kids, we would just be running around screaming that at each other. Right? Like, to me, it's like you see that and it burns itself in your brain and you never forget it. You don't forget that man. You don't forget his one-liners. Like, on screen for, well, I mean, he's on screen for a lot of the movie, but while he's alive, he's on screen for like 4 minutes.
Those
and
kicks.
It's like the most indelible 4 minutes of like probably his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That whole scene's so good. And like the greasers, like it's just, which is funny because, and I think any other time I've watched this movie, I've never processed that it's set in the 50s.
Yeah.
So watching this, I was like, because I always wondered, I like other viewings of this, I'm like, oh yeah, like it's greasers, you know, that's just like kind of funny. There's greasers in this. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second, this is supposed to be in the 50s. So it kind of makes
You're
sense.
just like,
there.
New Zealand is just behind.
Yeah. New Zealand apparently just really likes to wear like button down bowling shirts and
I do like the fashion
leather
in
vests.
this and like the hairstyles and everything.
Yeah, the fashion's fantastic in it.
I'm obsessed. The costume designer in this, like, give them a tug because they did such a fucking good job. I literally want like a book of just the fashion from this movie.
Hell yeah.
I wonder if it was the same person that did Heavenly Creatures, though, because Heavenly Creatures was also a period piece and also had like really beautiful like costume design and set design and music.
Oh my God.
He just makes a really good, like, he really like captures an era.
Can we talk about the music?
That is not. Oh my God, girl. I was like, why isn't this on fucking Apple Music?
I think it's so funny that, I don't know, it's just not typical music for a horror film like this. And, but it really works together. Like, it adds to the camp of it all, I think, that they don't go together, but they do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's jarring.
Well, and this is where that kind of style works. Like, I think when you have this kind of like laugh out loud slapstick type like horror comedy. So you can really play with that juxtaposition of the music to what you're actually seeing. And yeah, I thought, I also had to note that I thought it was fantastic. It was super funny. I was going to say I had written down a note that fake blood used in this movie, over 300 liters.
Damn.
Of fake blood. So it was, 80 gallons. And at one point held the world record for most blood used in a film.
What's the
What
top?
beat it?
I don't know what the top is now. I didn't look. I should have looked into it.
Let me Google it.
Yes, Google it right quick, Jill. Get on it.
Yeah, because I didn't do my job. Looking into this movie, like I did like a lot of the little like tidbits about it. I also thought I never really picked up on it, but like the rat monkey creature they say is supposed to be from Skull Island, and of course that was like a nod because, you know, Peter Jackson loves King Kong, who would later
Yes, of course.
make a King Kong film,
The remake, yeah.
so which, you know, some would argue is a fantastic movie. I think Exilia, a big fan of that one. I remember seeing it in the theater with her. She cried watching that.
Because it was
So
bad?
I found
No, loved it.
facts, I think. So Dead Alive is up there. I think they still, I don't know if they're still the most, because it says one scene in Dead Alive used around 80 gallons. Piranha 3D 2010 used 75,000. Evil Dead 2013 70,000.
Oh yeah, because they have that huge scene.
Raining Blood.
And
yeah.
Raining Blood. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Did they even get
And it wasn't CG blood.
Love to see it.
Yeah, we love it. So that's
Which
why
board?
you should.
It says it's brain dead when I Google it.
We can just say it is. I think we should
Okay.
just say it is and make it a thing in the universe.
Sounds
so
good.
I'm okay with that.
We can be known as the Brain Dead News and Facts podcast.
Keep you posted.
We said it, so it's true.
But it's kind of wild because like even today, as I was looking and organizing my notes, I was like, I think this might be one of the most like scenes I've written in my notes. Like most movies, like I'm kind of like Jill. I'm like looking at the themes. What are they talking about? Like maybe this actor or whatever. But this one, it's like my notes are literally like this scene, this scene, this scene. Like this has like so many like scenes. Like obviously the pudding one is like probably the most iconic, but I'm like, this has so many iconic scenes that I didn't even think about when I put it on this time. And I'm like, oh yeah, this one. Like I said, like the pudding, obviously like the father just kicking ass and, just jumping, kicking everyone's head off. I had, zombie baby at the playground.
Oh my God. Yeah.
This baby is so well done. Like so like sloth looking.
You love to hate them.
We could have done like Child's Play, like giving Child's Play a run for their money, honestly, if you'd done a series.
And like that whole scene in the playground, so funny. And he's just like slamming it against stuff. And
again, just slapstick physical comedy. Like,
oh, yeah. Everything about the baby is like super hilarious. Like smaller stuff, like when he's got everybody like trapped in the dining room and like the father and the nurse are just like going at it and he keeps like trying to separate them. Because apparently, like, even zombies can be horny too. They got to get their rocks off. But like the effects in this are great, and like their mouths like mushing together and mutating together, looking very much like Together.
I was gonna say
from this year. Yeah, obviously they play a lot with that. Like, what else did I have? Like, yeah, the Party Massacre, which is just. This is where most of the blood has to be, right?
Yeah.
They do such a good job of just like tracking the zombies and like the guests getting infected and then that guest going to infect someone else. But like, it's not even like random stuff. It's also so fun and playful because it's like they're infecting someone that they've interacted with like in the movie beforehand.
Yeah.
And I'm just going over.
And everybody's like very particularly placed all over the like mansion and in the estate and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's set up really well.
I'm curious, did you guys watch like the uncut of this or do you know?
Girl, I couldn't find this movie anywhere. I had to watch it on YouTube.
So there's multiples on YouTube that you can watch.
I don't know what I
watched.
Most
of the ones I saw on YouTube were uncut, even if they didn't say. I know the uncut's runtime is like 1:43.
Okay, that's what I watched then.
So and you can tell the uncut too, because all the scenes they add like they're not like finalized, so the coloring is off. Like, you can kind of tell where they put in these added scenes that they didn't quite finish off or polish. But yeah, Mike kind of warned it when he picked the movie. Not an easy movie to get your hands on.
But I did say, and I should have told Jill this in the group chat, I was like, there's multiple versions of it on archive.org.
Okay.
Yes. And like I said, I was very surprised because, of course, I'm looking. I went the routes you probably shouldn't go to look for this. I started watching one copy that was fine. And then 20 minutes in, you'd be watching a scene. And then in the background,
hear the audio.
The old audio.
Yeah.
That's what I watched.
Oh, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah, I started watching that, and then I had to go find another one.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do this. And then I found out, I was like, oh, there's just like 8 of these uploaded to YouTube, and you can get the cut version, the unrated German cut. Like, apparently there's a bunch of different cuts. I watched the 43-minute uncut that, I don't know if it's necessary that you see that one. A lot of it is like a lot of it I found was like when he goes to get the tranquilizer from like the German doctor, like that scene's a little extended where they give him a couple more lines, and most of the added stuff was just to give these side characters a little more depth.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this Nazi doctor.
Yeah, like, let me know.
Who made his way to New Zealand,
Let me know 10 seconds more about him than I would have got in the normal one. But yeah, I mean, just, like I said, I just kept getting, all my notes are just like scenes. Obviously, the lawnmower scene. This is where the real gallons of blood are used.
Okay, but before we get into that, I just need to piggyback on what you were just talking about to make a point. So, what version did you watch? Where did you watch it? Just, can we take a moment right now, as appreciators of physical media, why something that is made by one of the most famous, respected directors of the last, 40 years, and that is such a massive, huge cult hit. The fact that there's 8 versions of this on YouTube and 12 or 13 on archive.org, it's logged a bajillion times on Letterboxd. How is there not a proper new release of this movie? If I went on Amazon or anywhere, it's oh, here's this old thing from 1997 that costs $250.
Yeah. Why?
How does this not just how are they not constantly releasing a new version of this?
Sleeping.
It's just nowhere to be found.
So everything I have ever seen about it, and I hope I'm right in this because I'm just thinking of things I've read over time, it seems to me that they've been working on a 4K version of this for 10 years, and I believe if I remember right, everyone is the holdup is Peter Jackson, he's he basically just has slowly worked on it, he's never actually sat down we're doing this. And it's just been very slow to do. I feel like he announced, though, last year that he had actually finished and they were gonna, figure it out. Now, I'm sure, too, where these are older, I'm very curious what the rights and stuff around this would be. Because I would assume, this is probably, back then, it was probably, some company that doesn't even... one version I watched, the intro company was TriStar for the release, and I mean TriStar isn't even around anymore, I don't think.
Well, they got to be somewhere, and somebody must want to make money off of this movie. This is what pisses me off about this shit, because it's we want to give you money.
Take our money.
We don't want to go on YouTube to watch this movie. We're not here going, I want to see this for free. We're going give us a 4K, give us even if you put out a fucking bare bones Blu-ray, I would buy it. Give me something, please.
Yeah, and this Blu-ray is so notoriously out of print. I mean, I see people all the time posting.
Everyone I see is from Europe or whatever.
Yeah. They definitely need to get a proper release of this because this is a must-have. If you can have it in your collection, a VHS of this would be fantastic too. This
oh, I know. I was trust me, I was online trying to price one that was not $200.
Yeah, this is one of those movies. I feel that quality almost helps it. This is
100%. Yeah,
this is a VHS movie. You kind of want it to look like that, just because it's so fun and it's so old and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about this, as a zombie story, I guess? I always think I thought this was interesting because I never think about this as a zombie movie. Mm-hmm. And like I said, because I'm always what was this about again? I know it was why. And then once I start watching it, I'm oh, I remember every scene from this movie.
Yeah.
But I never go into it thinking about it as a zombie movie. And I always think it's interesting because I say this the few times we do them, we very rarely do zombie movies. Usually none of us pick zombie movies. So I think this is such an interesting one to do, especially in contrast to something 28 Days Later, we did at the beginning of the year, totally different kinds of...
Yeah, those are classic zombies, right? These are unique zombies, and there's just so many different ways that they kill people. That girl who got the hand through the mouth, when she died, they just keep like upping the ante with every like death, and then they never truly die, right? They just like keep coming back. The body parts very Evil Dead, right? Like the hand in Evil Dead 2.
And it like starts with a bite at the beginning, or well, there's 2 bites essentially at the beginning, but after that it spreads
different ways
through any one of like the orgy of destruction number of ways, right? Like it's a symphony of fucking fluid.
That's a great way to describe this movie, honestly.
Symphony of fluid.
Truly,
should be the tagline for this episode. Symphony of fluid.
I mean, and like the funny thing is, like, it's true. I don't think of it like, I don't go zombie movies, Dead Alive, even though it is one, and they actually say the word zombie in this movie. Like, I made a note of that. I'm like, they literally called them zombies. Like, they know what's happening here. But it feels like Jill, you said it's like a different type of zombie. To me, it goes back to the opening scene, which, by the way, is another one of those iconic scenes to me that I love. I always think about that asshole museum guy, the asshole professor. I was like, he got his.
Yep.
That fucking decapitation period. You know, it goes back to, it's more of a like voodoo zombie, or like a ritualistic, like, you know, not like a traditional, like, oh, radiation happened and now everyone's crawling out of their graves. You know, it's more of like, it almost feels like a curse.
Yeah.
You know, like it started with a curse.
It's kind of almost, more related to like actual, you know, like the traditional zombies of, you know, like...
Yeah, like zombie lore.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like more to do with that kind of stuff, and like the, you know, the actual lore of it,
like all the island nations and stuff like
exactly.
that. Like, and they talk about, you know, the black magic rituals and stuff like that. You know, they don't spend a lot of time on that, but they definitely kind of like give us that little like opening there to be like, this is not your traditional zombie, because we're tying it back to, I don't know if it's maybe problematically, but like tying it back to the like isolated island cultures, and it kind of escapes containment.
Yeah, well, I thought that was kind of what's interesting about this. I don't think the purpose of this is like to really have any deeper meaning to it. Like,
no.
You know what I mean? But I thought watching this, like, you really could kind of read this. Like, in my notes, I had written, like, you have this creature that's like basically born of like colonial exploitation. And they're what like kicks off, you know, this apocalypse of zombie and mutation.
Yeah, it's like hubris from the fucking professor, essentially.
Yeah, well, and I kept saying, like, it had, and I kept very much reading, and I was like, it feels very, like I said, the comedy and stuff, very British, very imperialist. So I was like, I'm curious if there's like a little jab in this at like, you know, like Western imperialism and you know,
for sure.
And obviously also like New Zealand, Australia, like they have a very deep history of colonization and, you know, indigenous peoples. So, and like I said, I mean, I'm sure there's people listening to this episode rolling their eyes right now. Like, we're talking about
you're right.
Brain dead. But I was like, you know, I think you could read it as that in some of this.
I mean, any zombie movie, it always starts out with an error of humans, like some sort of like fatal flaw that humans have, whether it's hubris, whether it's like, you know, I don't know, just like political sort of stuff. It's always there. It's always the start of this kind of stuff. And this movie, like, it starts off like that. It still has all of these deep threads, like also like the mommy issues going on. I felt like that was cool. I like that she like sucks him back into her like her womb. I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah, it's like it's like rebirth.
Exactly. And then like, I don't know, all of that, I really like that, and the flashback to his childhood. I don't know. I thought that was cool to have all of this, all these layers on top of the gore, the extreme amount of gore that you're getting.
I think you're right with that. I mean, for everybody out there, don't read this movie as about imperialism. the most important thing is it's just don't be a mama's boy. That's basically what it's about.
The worst.
This is what your mom will try to suck you back into her womb and destroy everyone you love
while her face is falling off into the house.
Yeah, I didn't learn my lesson. This is coming from a mama's boy, so I didn't appreciate what it was saying about us. Okay, poor Lionel.
Rowan's like, let me go a little like Norman Bates here now. Is that Rhonda in the window? No, it's Rowan with a wig on.
Did we want to talk? You brought up Vera, but Jill, you had briefly brought up there, the final boss scene of Vera, just in this transformation of this towering mutated zombie mom. Yeah, huge claws, sagging skin.
Boobs. Sagging boobs.
And tits.
Saggy boobs.
Sagging skin. Bro, you wanted to say tits. Just say it.
Yeah, just some saggy old tits on her.
God.
Pendulous.
Yes, they swinging.
Hot air balloon
swinging deep,
breasts.
swinging heavy.
But this also looked awesome. This was amazing.
Oh, it was just a beautiful monstrosity. Just stunning.
Momstrosity.
Momstros. Wow. Okay. Hang it up. We're done.
We've done our work here.
I love her character too. Even in the beginning, I think she's really funny. Before she turns, she's always fussing about dust, and she has some really funny lines. And when she does turn, and I don't know, she's hilarious as a character too.
I love that probably the most lines that she has in the whole movie, because she spends most of it, in a zombie state, is after she turns into the final mutation, the very Resident Evil T-virus version of herself. And she's standing there with the pendulous breasts and the giant ass and the nipples out and her face falling off on top of the mansion that's on fire. And this is the most lines she has in the whole movie. I just fucking love that that's when they're oh, here she's gonna have a monologue now.
Yeah.
It's Shakespearean soliloquy. Yeah. It's not even the actual actress. Maybe she's in there. I don't know.
Maybe
they
someone else actually. I saw in the credits.
Yeah, I'm
Can
sure.
you imagine if they had her inside of there?
That would be hilarious. I also really liked, it's a very little thing, but there's a scene when Paquita is stuck with one of the party girls, kind of in that laundry. Is it Rita?
My icon, Rita, yes.
Yeah, they're kind of.
She goes, whatever, Doreen, it's me.
Yeah.
Rita. And then she gets a
me,
fucking fist through
Jessica.
the back of her head.
But when they push her into the light bulb and the light bulb goes in the back of her head and then it lights up, I absolutely love that.
And they keep bringing it back. They keep bringing the camera over her, and she's flashing, and when she catches on fire, it's just so good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes in this.
Mm-hmm.
Just so good.
Yeah, that whole arc with her character was a nice little touch during that scene. It was nice. And then of course we get that iconic image of, which inspired obviously the equally iconic cover art of the baby coming out from inside of her.
Yeah. And I thought Timothy Baum, I don't know how he says his last name, but the guy plays, is it Baum? I don't know. Timothy Baum. I thought as Lionel, I actually really like Lionel in this. Yeah. I think he's pretty funny. He's very sniveling, very meek and sheepish. And I just thought he played this character really good. And out of everyone, right? I think out of everyone in this movie, he's kind of got to play it real straight man in the Naked Gun style. He's got to be the straight man in the comedy, in the slapstick comedy, and kind of play everything serious. And I just think he was hilarious. A lot of physical comedy that he's got to do compared to everyone. And yeah, he just kept me laughing the entire time.
Yeah, he was great. I really liked him too.
Yeah, he's such a fun, adorable character. At the beginning, of course, you're sort of oh my God, this mama's boy, he's just hopeless. But he really does come into his own. And I love Peter Jackson's, I love that arc for him. I love that Paquita, she has her little moment, obviously, where she strays a little bit. But I love that in the end, she knew this was her man.
Yeah.
Those weird tarot cards that do not exist. told her this was her man. Oh my God, I was like looking at that going, first of all, these cards are beautiful. But second of all, none of these things are real tarot cards.
It's 2 strikes.
It's like the zombie, the mother. Like, no.
I just wanted to say another thing about the zombies that I really liked about this movie that I thought was unique was like the tentacles, like the tentacles that kept like coming from the parts and like grabbing stuff.
Yeah.
That also to me was like really Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's no way these guys, like Peter Jackson's main influence wasn't Evil Dead making this. Like even
Evil Dead 2, 100%.
Even the zombie look, especially the mother, like so many scenes, I'm like, oh, this looks exactly like the zombies from Evil Dead, like in all of her stages. I was like, yeah, this had to be based off of that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love that like a set of guts and like innards was a whole ass character for literally 40 minutes of this movie.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of tentacles, like literally that it's like that goddamn set of guts had more screen time than the mother.
Yeah.
Like,
I love when it like farts or whatever.
I was gonna say, did it actually fart?
The little poot, the little poot comes out.
And then when it's like looking at itself in the mirror,
looking at the mirror, it's like, oh,
yeah,
I'm hot.
The comedy in this is so good.
That's wild, dude.
I wrote down, this is so fucking stupid. But it's literally the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's true.
Like, he just doesn't care. He's not afraid to just do the stupidest possible thing. And that's why this movie is so fucking good.
So do you guys have any other notes on this? Or are we good to get into rating it?
Let's get into it.
All right. Well, let's land the plane and get into rating this. If you're new to the podcast, our rating system is nay, okay, yay, or slay. Mike, this was your pick. What would you give 1992's Brain Dead or Dead Alive, whatever you want to call it?
Well, the funny thing is, I'm going to give it the same rating that like 11-year-old me would have also given it, which is slay. I feel this movie is so stupid, but so much fun and so well done that it makes me feel like a kid when I watch it in the best possible way. I don't want to forget like a lot of my childhood, but watching this movie was like such a like eye-opening experience for me, and like I said, I've never forgotten it, and it just has the power to always make me feel that way. And I think that no matter, like, I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan at all.
That makes two of you.
Like
early, brother.
Yeah, early Peter Jackson is just fucking gold, and I think it really, like, Lord of the Rings may technically like put his skill as a director on display, but I really think that this does it because I think that people will still be telling their friends to watch this in like 50 years.
100%.
You know? I just think, it's timeless. It's stupid. It's funny. Like, I have watched this 100 times and I still guffaw at all the stupid 12-year-old humor. And I just love the genre mashup. I love that it's a slapstick and it's a zombie movie and it's a romance movie and it's a fantasy. You know, it's just like, and it's a period piece. Like, it's almost like sci-fi too. It's just like, God, Peter Jackson, is there anything you can't do? It's a fucking slay. Jill, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm also going to give it a slay, obviously, because it is one. This is one that I really want to own on physical media because I would love to get the chance to watch it whenever I want, not on YouTube with the audio all fucked up. But I don't know, just like the way that every character is their own character and they continue to be that character when they turn into a zombie is really cool. And like we talked about before, they keep tabs on every person and they always come back to them. So you don't forget about any of them. There's always payoff for something.
Yeah.
And
it's like Chekhov's character.
Yes. Chekhov's blender also.
Chekhov's blender, yeah.
Yeah. All you need in a zombie apocalypse is a lawnmower and a blender, apparently.
And a blender. Any spinning blade.
Exactly. I thought it was really unique. I don't know. I just love it. It's funny. It's scary. It's equal parts, I think. And it has unmatched creature design, especially for a zombie flick. And the practical effects are outstanding. The last act is total unbridled chaos, and it's amazing. And I love everything about it. It's funny. It's over the top. So yeah, slay for me. How about you, Rowan?
Yeah, this is a triple slay on this one. I think this was fantastic. And this isn't one I necessarily would like, when I think of movies I give a slay. Like, this isn't, like I said, at the top of my head. I'm always kind of forgetting this movie, but watching this, like, you guys, I'm echoing what you guys said. A physical release is badly needed, because if this was in my collection, it's something I could grab and watch way more often than I would, because I had so much fun with it. But yeah, it's gory, it's hilarious, some of the best practical effects you're gonna see. If you love Evil Dead, like, this is up your alley. Whether that's 1 or 2, it definitely has the humor of like 2 or Army of Darkness. Yeah, it's just like all around awesome. If you want to like Peter Jackson for something good and not Lord of the Rings,
Get out of here. They're both good.
yeah, you'll like this. So with that, we told you what we thought, and we asked you what you thought. I teased Colt when he told me he wasn't going to make it to this episode, because I said, yet again, the narrative still exists. Colton picks. It's always quiet out there. Mike picks. People just writing in like nuts, talking about those movies.
Listen, I know what the people like and what they want. Okay?
Tastemaker.
I know what boys like. I know what guys want.
So we'll start on Instagram. Creep Your Socks Off wrote and just said, this is my personal favorite horror film. So definitely slay from them. You know, how could you not? Margot Critch. Margot Critch. I'm reading on the fly here, guys, and it's small, and I'm blind.
Yes, we all know. We all know.
I'm getting old. I should have my glasses on.
You don't have your glasses on, I was going to say.
Yeah, Margot Critch wrote and said, Fernando, your mother ate my dog. I mean, that's all you really got to...
Yeah.
That's all you really got to say.
Not all of them.
Iconic line, like you'll never forget it.
Horror Hound Holly wrote in and said, thanks, Mike, again for the education. Had been on my list, but I didn't get around to it. So wet, so many original kills for the time. Gore, fun, and love. What's not to like? A slay.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Holly knows.
Then Mr. Shix wrote in, said, such a fun movie. Got to see it in theaters with Thrillema years ago. Yeah.
Nice, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'm very, very jealous that you got to see that. And then we'll go on over to Slasher. We had Shauna Watt wrote in and said, slay, amazing flick. We had Uncle B from the 80s. They said, slay, no doubt about it. Very few movies can match the energy of this one. Practical effects are off the charts. Evil Jill, 85. This might be like Jill's evil twin. I'm not sure.
My other account.
Jill is the evil twin.
They said, slay, one of my favorite films of all time. Disgusting, bloody, and funny as hell. Can't get any better than that. And then THX1147 wrote in and said, a product of its time, but still absolutely slay. Still can't eat a creamy soup without thinking of the scene.
Oh, dude, I had one today, too. That was that same color.
Oh, man.
Corn chowder.
Ooh.
No, that's all I can think of.
So, yeah, I mean, it seems like this is a very well-loved, obviously we said it's called classic, but a very well-loved film. So with that, Nicholas did leave us a voicemail, so we are going to hop on over to the Horrific Hotline and see what Nicholas had to say about Braindead.
Okay, so I'd say that every horror fan, or most horror fans, have something in their youth or in their teenage years that you could call something like a splatterpunk phase, where you don't try to get the scariest movie, but the bloodiest and goriest movie. And sometimes you do find a movie that is super bloody, and you just enjoy this movie no matter how it is. And for me, this movie was Braindead, or Dead Alive, by Peter Jackson. I saw it way too early, and in my so-called splatterpunk phase, it was like the third or fourth movie that I saw. So I I was happy very quickly because it is a super entertaining and also really disgusting movie without being totally sadistic or being super torture porny or something. It is just a zombie splatter movie comedy by Peter Jackson, who I knew as the director of Lord of the Rings by that point. I was a bit surprised to see his name come up in the credits right after or right before someone's arm gets chopped off. And it is just uphill from there with splatter effects. And the effects are great. They are super well done. It's bloody, it's disgusting. The family dinner scene still gives me shivers, but in a good, I want to be disgusted way. And you can't talk about the movie and not mention the final act, which is just bonkers. I do love everything about it, and every time I see the movie, I can look past everything that is a bit wonky. So, of course, the story is not really well done. It's okay. It serves the purpose. And the actors are not incredible, but it doesn't matter because there's like 5 billion gallons of blood being sprayed around at any given moment in the movie, and it makes fun to see it. Also, personal highlight is him fighting with the little zombie baby, which is something that in every other movie, like a zombie baby and a pregnant zombie, would be super disgusting. See the Dawn of the Dead remake. But in this movie, somehow it just worked for me. Great choice. It's gonna be an absolute slay just for the pure fun of the movie. And I do hope you guys enjoyed it as well.
Not that.
Yeah, Nicholas, the slay. I know Mike's happy about that. And I mean, yeah, everything you said, it's a banger. It's just a banger. And I mean, you echoed what we said. Like, it's not malicious. It's just fun. And that's like really what sets it apart. So if you want to send a voicemail in and let everyone hear your thoughts, you can do so by just sending us a voicemail to our email or in any of the social media. Just basically get a hold of us somehow with a vocal clip, whether it's on your phone or you record it on your laptop and say, hey, I want to get this in to talk about the movie you guys are going to be talking about, or maybe it's a movie we already talked about. You just want to say something, or you just have a general question you want to ask the squad. So yeah, get it to us. We'll figure out a way to play it and we'll make sure you get heard. And those social media and email you can is itslayspodcast@gmail.com for the email, and It Slays Podcast on any of the social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Bluesky, Slasher, Threads, TikTok, Letterboxd. Basically, if there's a social media, we're probably on it at It Slays Podcast. And Jill, why don't you tell these lovely people about our Patreon and how they can become horror hounds?
Yeah, if you're interested in becoming part of the ranks of our horror hounds, like Holly, Nicholas, Sacrotype, Dan, Brian, Trevor, and James, head on over to Patreon. You can find us there under It Slays Podcast and choose the tier that works best for you. Benefits include early access to episodes and access to our Patreon exclusive show Stream Screams, as well as the ability to choose a movie for us to review. Now, Rowan, I heard you're going to put the entire Lord of the Rings soundtrack on the spooky playlist. So why don't you tell everyone about that?
Yeah, don't you wish, you dirty Lord of the Rings people. I don't know, obviously. I mean, like we said, it's definitely a unique music and stuff score in this. So maybe throw a little something on just to give people a good time. You can find out if I do at the It Slays Podcast Horrific playlist on Spotify. If you have any problems finding it, you can go to any of the social media that I just mentioned briefly ago. Go into the bio, click the Linktree link, and there is a button that will take you directly there. We upload scores or license music from iconic horror movies we review, or just horror movies we love. So go follow it. I update it regularly. Get your spooky music on, A, because it's spooky season, and B, let's be real, realistic. You're following a horror podcast. Every day is spooky season for you, every day of the year. So you always want your spooky music on. So follow it, because why the hell not? And then the last thing I always got to plug, we do have the viewing at TerraVision coming up October 22nd. Cineplex Lower Sackville, they will be showing Scream, so be there. Lots of Scream giveaways we are providing. The pre-show and film start at 7:30. Be there. TerraVision's always a good time. If you see me, come say hello. I don't bite. I think I'm going to be at this showing with my daughter, because Scream is like her favorite movie. So, you know, I'll be
oh my God, she loves Skeet.
Yeah, so, you know, we will be there. So come say hello. And with that, all that is left is to announce our next episode. And I don't have to throw it to anyone, because, I mean, if you're a follower of the podcast, you know where we're going with this. It's going to be our Halloween episode. We're going to continue our journey through the Halloween movies. And I feel like Mike's pretty excited for this one. Halloween H2O. We are finally past the first bunch. We're getting into what? Was this like the late 90s? 97?
98, I think.
Yeah, so Halloween H2O. Get that into your eyeballs, and we will be back. Hopefully everyone is getting ready for the Halloween season. As always, thank you for all the support. I'm your humble host, Rowan.
Thank you. Bye, it's Mike.
Bye, it's Jill.
See you later.